I bet it's probably already live. Hello, my darlings. Hello, my dears. Hello, my darlings. Hello, my dears. It says we've been live for 9 seconds, so I think we got some of that. Good afternoon or evening or whatever time it is that you're listening to this. I am Barrett Brooks. This is The Future Belongs to Creators, and this is a very Nathan Barry. How you doing today, Nathan?
I'm good. Let's see. I'm probably yellow. Okay, today is not launch day. It's pre-launch day, soft launch day, and that's got me a little bit yellow. We definitely had some hiccups. That's why we're testing things with ConvertKit Commerce. Well, first, launching two things. One is bigger than the other. One is a new version of Authority. That's the smaller thing that I'm launching. But I'm super excited. Email list has been pumped about it. Audience is excited, so that's good. The bigger thing is ConvertKit Commerce. And I'm using Authority to test that because there's always going to be issues and we want to catch them with our own stuff. Caught some of those issues today, so that's got me a little bit yellow. Otherwise, things are good. What about you?
Oh, let's see. How am I doing today? I'd say I'm green. Like I have hints of yellow, like little tiny bits of yellow, crystals of yellow amongst the green. We call this chartreuse on this show. Why? Well, I worked over the weekend. I am also launching a product this week, which we will get into shortly. First time in years. First time I have sold something personally in years and years. And it's so much fun. And we'll get into all of it. But I've got vacation coming up next week. And so I've got this like sprint of a week in front of me. And that feels really good. My wife and I had like an explicit conversation the other day. That was like, I had not been saying what I was thinking, which was, okay, I just got to get to Friday. And then I have 9 days that I am dedicating to family. And she said, oh, okay, now I understand what role I can play in all of this. Because before you were driving me crazy with your like kind of here, kind of not here thing. And so, yeah, I feel alignment. I feel excited to do some hard work this week to launch a thing and support the team in launching commerce. There's good stuff going on. It's nice to feel that kind of buzzy energy sometimes.
It is. Yeah, there's been a lot of it. I mean, nonstop this whole weekend in Slack. I mean, it was weird. We were like on calls, or I was on a call with Mark on our engineering team yesterday at like 3 p.m, troubleshooting animations. Like, are they just right? We had this moment of like, cool, and that should wrap it up. And all right, we'll dive into. Today's Sunday, right? Which is not something we normally do, but a big launch like this is really important to get all the details right. And so I'm diving in that way. I love that conversation you had with Nicole of like, oh yeah, here's what's going on. Here's my plan. Here's how we can tackle that together. Because when you set expectations with that, and whether it's a spouse or teammates or whatever else, and it's like, cool, yeah, we can work with that. But otherwise it's just like, what are you doing? Why are you not present? Why are you working on this? I thought we decided that the art projects would be important this week. Like whatever else it is. Right. So level setting is important.
Totally. Saturday, I was just like half-assing everything. I had my iPad out. I was like kind of writing because I needed to get some writing done. I was kind of with family, but I did none of it well. And we finally talked and I was like, okay, here's what I'm feeling. Like we're launching commerce. It's a big deal. I need to finish performance reviews for everyone who reports to me. I'm launching my own product for the first time in a really long time. The last time really I launched a product, like I was running my own business and that business failed. There's like some emotional attachment to some of this, it didn't fail because I sucked at selling products, but I did not have a product that matched a market. I did not have product market fit. And so there is like some element of that. I am very confident in my ability to run a company, but there's some stuff of like selling my own thing and making sure that I do it well and deliver value. There's a different level, or it's a different kind of confidence. It's a different kind of belief in being able to get the job done. And yeah, I'm feeling some of that. And so we were able to have that conversation. And then Sunday, I like came in my office, I shut the door, I worked for a few hours, and then I left my office and I went out and we had family time and everyone was on the same page at that point and it felt way better.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Well, let's talk through today a couple of things. Before we dove in, you were sharing partially a feeling, partially tactics, partially all of this of like what's going on and what it feels like to have your own audience going, your product coming together. Talk for a second about how like the Barrett Brooks audience and ecosystem and Barrett Brooks as an individual creator is really taking shape.
Yeah. So I think over, I don't know, the past 2 years, I've been formulating this idea of what I want my work to be, like my writing, my body of work. And I finally landed on, I think I said it in an interview actually, and then refined it afterwards, what I want my writing to represent. And so I'll share my, I'm just going to, we're going to shamelessly promote ConvertKit today. This is a ConvertKit landing page. I love it.
That is a ConvertKit employee on a ConvertKit landing page.
That's right. This is me at ConvertKit's conference on a ConvertKit landing page. And so I came up with this headline, you know, I write for people who want their work to matter. And what I said on the podcast was, I write at the intersection of meaningful work, servant leadership, and solving the world's most important problems. And so I had this idea for what I want my kind of ecosystem to look like. And I want it to be those three things. I want to teach people how to find meaningful jobs. I want to teach people how to lead well. And I want to talk about some of the like societal level issues that I think we should all be paying attention to. And that, like, if you don't like all of that, that's fine, but that's what I'm going to talk about. And so I'm just kind of trying to set expectations that you're going to get some of all of that. And I think in the process, if you think like me about like what's important in your life in the world and at work, you might enjoy it. So I've started building towards this master plan, and we're launching ConvertKit Commerce. Technically, like a couple people are using it today, but Wednesday, July 15th, we're going to open it up to a few more people and then progressively add more and more people that have signed up for the wait list. Almost 10,000 people, over 9,000, almost 10,000 signed up for the wait list, which is incredible. I mean, you just think about the early days of ConvertKit and how that compares. It's wild.
Okay, I have a screenshot. If you go way back on my Instagram, a photo that I posted was Stripe, new accounts signing up in Stripe. And then the caption is something like, it's been a good week. It's been a good week for ConvertKit. And there's like 7 days in a week, right? And I think 5 of them have a single account that have signed up, right? So we're 5 out of 7. It's been a good week for ConvertKit. So yes, a lot has changed. And now it's like our beta list for a new line of business, new product is 10,000 signups.
Yeah. And we get, 800 plus free account signups every day. The business has changed a lot. So we've got that excitement going. And then I'm kind of building my master plan here where Friday, I'm going to launch a workshop, taking everything that I learned starting my first business and then applying the ensuing 8 years of experience, hiring people, managing teams, like leading companies, to how you go out into the market and find something that is really going to fulfill you for a day-to-day job. And I've started to put this vision together of, okay, I'm going to do that workshop. And then maybe in a month or two, I'm going to do one on for first-time people managers. So like, how do you develop habits around being a people manager when you're doing it for the first time? And then I want to do another, I've done this email series on the 8 principles of meaningful work to my list leading up to the launch. I'm going to do another one on the 8 or 10 most important issues of our time. And so I'm bringing this whole thing to life. So there's this buzz. But what I was saying to you before we hopped on was, it feels like there's this flywheel starting to turn. So today, I sent the last email that's probably felt like sporadic broadcast to everyone already on my list, but I did an 11-day series that started with, why does meaningful work matter to me? And continued through 8 principles of meaningful work and ended today, actually this morning. But now it's a sequence that lives in my account. So every person who subscribes gets this personalized feeling experience of going through that for the first time. So now I've got leverage. Every article I write from now on, someone's going to actually receive good content as soon as they subscribe. And now with a product, a workshop going live this Friday, it adds to the flywheel even more, because after someone subscribes, on the thank you page, I'm going to put an upsell to the workshop. And then at the end of that initial sequence, I'll put a little upsell if people are looking for jobs right now, to say, hey, this is a product that can help you if you're looking to make a transition in your career. Otherwise, stay tuned. You're going to get more content from me. and you can start to see, I mean, obviously I know this stuff. We know this, like we teach this stuff. We've been through it. We see hundreds of people go through it every year, thousands every year. But to be doing it again, you know, to like really dive back in is so much fun to see it all working together.
Yeah, it's so fun. And just what you're talking about really points to our product vision for ConvertKit as well, right? Because, you know, you've got this welcome sequence coming through. You've got the thank you page. The thank you page, everyone's always like, wait, why are you guys launching commerce? That doesn't make sense. You know, like you're an email company. And we're like, no. We're a creators earning living company. And now you see like on the thank you page, on, you know, it's promoting the product that you should buy. If you buy it, you start getting a new set of emails. If you don't buy it, you get a series of emails suggesting that you buy it while teaching you other great stuff. And so it's just this whole ecosystem that really fits together. And I think we've seen it for quite a while, but now we're living it, and it's really fun. And so that's the sort of thing that now customers are starting to see, and the community is starting to see. And we started like just some tweets this weekend. People were like, oh, I see where you're going with this. Wait, this is all free? Wait, what? You know, and it's so cool. So yeah, we've got a bunch of people tuning in. We're going to talk about products today. We're going to show you inside of ConvertKit Commerce. We're going to talk through how we would set up a product, some of the decisions we make along the way. But I'd love for everyone who's tuning in, we've got Sean and Teddy and Tevi and Carlos and Tanner and others, to just drop in the chat. If you have a product that you're working on right now or something that you're going to launch soon, drop a note about that in there. And then if there's any topics in particular you'd like us to cover, feel free to do that. But I'd love to start maybe by diving in and telling you a little bit about what I've been up to the past few days. Because Barrett, like you, I've been working a lot to try to get all of this going. So first, really quick, I'm just pulling up some screen sharing. I did a relaunch of Authority. So it's got a new cover design by Holly, who's one of our really talented designers. I left a lot of stuff the same, but like reworked the packages, you know, changed out the 7-year-old photo of myself, important details. You know, went through and updated some of the videos, some of that other stuff. But then inside of ConvertKit, we've actually got the product set up. So you can see the 3 versions of Authority. You can see there's some sales coming in just yesterday and today, which is really pretty fun. Turns out it works. You know, it's whenever you build a product, you're like, the product in this case being ConvertKit Commerce. Does this work? You can see my test product here. I'm launching a fashion newsletter. I put this together here because I was demonstrating the range of styles you could have and type and all of that. And so I was like, oh, a fashion newsletter would be good. The team has not stopped giving me a hard time for this ever since. They're like, what is this? A collection of startup t-shirts and then gingham shirts from J. Crew? Like, what's the advice? Anyway.
I love it.
So walking through some of this, that I guess at a high level, right? That's what I've been up to. Did we show everyone inside ConvertKit Commerce at all?
I don't think so. We maybe briefly did, but I think we should do a full kind of deep dive in there.
Yeah. Well, let's make a product. How's that sound?
Sounds amazing.
What product should we make, Barrett? Or do you have your product set up? Should we make yours?
Oh, yes. Let's do it.
All right. You go in your account.
So this would be, we're going to try and talk through it as always. Some episodes, you know, if you listen in audio, we screen share quite a bit. This is going to be one of those episodes where we do screen share quite a bit. We'll try and make it make sense on audio, but it would be good to watch back on YouTube. Okay.
I just want to say Daryl in the chat is saying he would buy my fashion newsletter, and thank you, Daryl. I appreciate it. Nice to have some fans.
You should be buying Daryl's fashion newsletter.
All black.
Okay, let's see. I'm just going to kind of give a sense for like the user journey real quick, even to show how we end up at a product and like how I've been launching mine, I guess would be kind of the
Here, if you switch into sharing just Chrome, then it'll give a tighter crop of the.
Good call. I thought that's what I was doing, but I'm a Zoom amateur apparently. Okay, here we go. So we've got just Chrome here. So this is my account. You can see I have This is going to be a great case study, actually. I have 593 subscribers because I'm horrible at writing consistently these past few years. Running a company turns out is a major writing deterrent. This is how people subscribe typically. So they either come here to my landing page, which people come to from Twitter, or they come to my website, and either at the top or at the bottom of my site, every post, they can subscribe. And so that's kind of the entrance to the journey of being a subscriber, becoming part of my ecosystem. I think I have the same shirt on in that photo that I have on today's episode.
Of the callback.
Yeah, exactly. So they come in, and what I've got here is we've moved sequences under the automations tab. And you can think of that logically as like anything that automatically happens to a subscriber after they're on your list. All of that's under the automations tab in ConvertKit now. And so I come over here to my sequence, and every single person is getting the sequence that is what is meaningful work. And I kind of mentioned it a minute ago, but the first one is a story about thinking almost like the Stoics did about dying. You know, what is it going to be like to die? And what do I want my life to look like between now and then? And using that as a way to couch this idea of work mattering in the context of life mattering or living a meaningful life. I get into my story of starting as a management consultant and then wanting to get into something more meaningful work. And then I go over these 8 principles of meaningful work. And I wrote this live. Like, I started it a few weeks ago, but I created it in a sequence instead of broadcast so that once someone got the email, they wouldn't be getting it again, which is some logic built into ConvertKit. And to be able to keep people in the sequence, I added this email down here at the bottom that has a 9,000 day delay so that I could keep adding emails to this. And I went through and I wrote them. And then on principle 5, I started adding PSs, or maybe it was on principle 4, and just hinting at, hey, next week we're launching ConvertKit Commerce. I'm going to be launching a product too. It's going to be about how to find a meaningful job. And then every principle after that, which has gone out daily since then, I added another PS. I said, okay, it's official. On July 17th, I'm hosting a live workshop. That's what it will be. I linked to my Twitter thread about the product that I'm going to be launching. On principle 6, I said, here's what it's going to cost. Here's when you can buy it. Here's how many spots will be available. And so you can kind of see that rather than just sending sales email after sales email, I'm sending content that at the bottom gives people little bits. I'm putting little breadcrumbs along the way to say, here's a little bit about it. Here's a little bit more. Here's where you're going to buy it. All the way up to principle 8, which at the bottom said, if you know you want to buy a spot, click this link. And this is a link trigger inside of ConvertKit where when people click this, I tag them. And I'm tagging them with job seeker, assuming that's why they would be interested. And I said, I'll give you a head start on the public launch since there's limited spots. And so rather than on Wednesday when I make it public, Tuesday afternoon, I'm going to send an email. Today's Monday, so tomorrow, that says, here's everything you'll get when you buy for $49. Since you click the link to be on the pre-launch list, you can go ahead and buy now, which means that you're guaranteed or more likely to get a spot anyways. And then that way, Wednesday, I know I have 2 options. Either I've sold out and I can either run a second edition of the workshop, or I can add spots, or I can just not launch to the general list. Or I can just email them and say, hey, actually it filled up already. Next time I'll let you know when it comes out again. And so I've done this to where now tomorrow, everyone's going to know, or everyone that's read one of these emails is going to know why they're getting a sales email from me about this thing going live. So when we get into launching, like the reason I wanted to go through that is it doesn't have to feel like this hit them over and over and over and over with the same message. You can just drip little bits in the process of sending out your normal content to prep people for a launch. Now, we don't know the results yet, but so far I've got 25 spots available. There are 26 people who said they want to know ahead of time. So that's looking pretty good, especially for a relatively small list. If you do 26 out of 600, that's something like, so 4% of people on my list have said, I want to buy this thing from you. That's pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so then we've got a product, right? So inside of ConvertKit, there are these menu items of subscribers, automations, landing pages and forms, broadcasts, and products, which is new. You'll see this in your account when you get invited to the beta. I've created a sample version of what we're going to do, but I'm going to create a new one here. And this is what the flow looks like. So to start with, you can name it. So I'm calling my workshop the most meaningful job of your career. In phase one, you can it's a one-time payment. That's all you can take. But coming in about 6 or 8 weeks, you'll be able to add a subscription payment where you can charge on a recurring basis, which will be great for things like subscription or paid newsletters, maybe a private video series, a private podcast series, anything that you bill on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, recurring access to a stream of content. Like if you had a whole automation that, sent out content every month for a year and, a monthly subscription to that. There's all kinds of options there.
Yep. So my workshop is going to be $49. As one of my friends tweeted, he said, this would be a steal at 10 times that rate. That's always my goal in pricing. I think we talked about that on the pricing episode. I always want people to feel like they're getting 10 times what they paid me in value out of whatever they buy from me. I think I could probably go higher, but because this is the first time I'm doing this workshop and it's going to be live with kind of new organized material that I'm curating, I don't want to overcharge people. I want to have confidence that I'm over delivering. So it's a $49 product. I don't have this ready, but what I'm going to be uploading here is a 1-page PDF on how to access the workshop. So when someone buys this from me tomorrow or Wednesday, this will have a 1-page design PDF that says, here's your instructions for joining. Here are the interviews you're going to get with it. And then on Friday, after I do the workshop, my assistant's going to help me download the recording of the workshop. I will have recorded 6 interviews with hiring managers and founders of companies, mission-driven companies. We're going to get all those videos together. And then the slides that I use, and all of that's going to go into a zip file, and I'll come back and update this file with the zip folder so that now I can sell it as a standalone product that's evergreen. So this is actually a really good principle if you want to launch a new product. Doing something live to force you to get it out and recording it gives you a minimum viable product. And if I just want to keep selling it at $49, I know it'll be worth that. Or it becomes a template for me to go back and maybe record individual lessons or dive a little deeper on it to make something even more valuable. So I'm going to skip this for now since I don't have that PDF ready. I've got my custom domain for my landing page, like I showed you a little while ago, barrettbrooks.ck.page.
And that's one, just to add on, or maybe this is what you're about to say, you could bring in any domain that you wanted. So I could have products.nathanbarry.com/my product name or whatever else.
And so you can, under your account settings, you can set up a custom domain, and that would then be available in this dropdown here. Right now, I'm just going to use my ck.page. I'm going to make my link for that meaningful work, because that pretty much captures the idea, and create my product. Oops, I already have that idea. Here, I'm going to do meaningful work too, since I'm recycling the same link.
At least we tested that validation. That's good.
Yeah, it's working properly. So now it pulls up, it automatically pulls in the price right on this product page. It has a headline that I entered from before, the title of the product that can be edited. And then I've got a description here. So because I've already kind of written this, I'm going to go back and actually copy and paste the copy. And one thing that's important to know is I'm asking this page to do a little bit more heavy lifting than you might normally. I don't want to edit a whole page on my WordPress site. So I'm putting some extra details in this product modal. But really, in a lot of cases, like you with Authority, Nathan, you've put minimal details and you're embedding this actually onto a page on your site. And you can do either one. So I'm doing just enough information where my launch email is going to do the heavy lifting. And this is just affirming a lot of what I'm saying in there. We can add a cover image here. And I'm just going to add here. We're going to,
I designed you a cover image. You haven't used it yet, but
you didn't give it to me yet.
Did you not look in Slack?
No.
Here,
okay.
Let's do this live. Give me screen sharing.
Okay.
And hold on, let me get Figma. We're going to get Barrett's. So this was me designing, totally like stuck in a rut when it came to design. So they're all kind of similar, but I'm going to get your feedback because I designed you a few variations last night. Let me change the size on this. So here's just a couple different cover options. Here's one.
Okay. Love it.
Another one, still really simple.
Mm-hmm.
going a few different options, just switching up the type.
Okay.
Trying to bring on a little pop of color.
Yeah.
And then this one here. This one, not to sway you at all, but this one would be my favorite.
I like that. I like that one, or I like the second one. If we did the second one, the benefit would be we could cover up the entire wine glass so that my product is not me at a cocktail party. However, it's authentic. So I think let's go with the last one then.
Okay. All right. I will, I'll save this out for you and then we'll get it uploaded. You can return to the screen sharing, but that's why it's really important when you launch a product to have a partner as great as me who will spend his Sunday night designing products.
It's true. I love you for it, Nathan. I love you for it. Also, tools for that. So Figma, Canva, there are definitely plenty of accessible tools. There's a lot of apps on iPad as well that allow you to design relatively easily on your own, something that looks pretty decent. I'm going with black and white because my site, you might have noticed, is thematically mostly black and white. If I were really with it, I would actually grayscale all of my photos here too. But I don't want to abuse the work of people on Unsplash since they've done it well. Okay, so coming back. So we've got my product page now. So what's going to happen is tomorrow when I email my audience, I will do the selling that says, here's everything you'll get in the workshop, everything I'm going to be teaching. Here are the 6 interviews you'll get and the companies and the roles that those people are in, who you'll learn from their perspective on what they're looking for people that they hire. And then I will point to just this page. It'll be barrettbrooks.ck.page/meaningful-work. And people will be able to come and they'll click on this button here and they'll be able to buy. So I'll save this for now. And then we can go in, we can look at the checkout process. You'll see, get their email, you get their payment, they'll upload or they'll add their card number. You can set up a confirmation email here. So here you really want to set, number one, you should align the branding to what you've got in other areas. And then you want to just give them a little preview of what they should expect here. What are they going to get from you? When are they going to hear from you, et cetera, et cetera. Otherwise you'll get a bunch of emails back like, you took my money, where's my thing? And then
that's actually where you could call out more details and say, hey, on Friday, at this time, you're going to get the email with join information or like those other details. One thing that we've done that is really nice is we recommend that you have a file, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
This is something that other platforms that I've sold on have required a file. And I'm like uploading a text file that says like, if I'm selling coaching, for example, that's what I've done. It's like a text file that describes how to, has my calendar link in it to book coaching. And so here you don't have to upload a file. You could just either send an automated email or right there say like, hey, awesome. Thanks so much for booking coaching. Here's my calendar link. Like, let's book this right away. And you can set expectations there.
Yeah, exactly. And so if I had uploaded a file, there would be a button here and they'll be able to download that. And then there's a receipt email also that includes the download link and you can edit the text here and everything, but the details will stay programmatic so that it shows exactly what card they paid on, when they paid, and how much they paid. And so that's the experience. And then once I'm done with this, I can either grab the link, share it on Twitter, share it in an email, share it wherever, or we can embed the modal into a website or anywhere else you can add a script. So Nathan, maybe we'll switch over to you and you can show, like, I'm going to launch this on a page, but you actually embedded it in your authority sales page and it works natively there. So let's look at what that looks like too.
Yeah, exactly. And I messaged you over that file in Slack. So if you want to upload my incredible designs.
Incredible.
I'm nothing except humble, So if you come through here, basically I have these buy buttons and those are swapped out. So now it opens in a modal. And if I click get it now, then I can go through and complete that purchase process. So that's that one example. Or let me open this in a new, let's see. Open link in new window. Will it do it? Here, let me pull this over. There you go. That looks like there's a quirk there. We'll have to sort that out. But basically you can visit these pages either direct, a direct link or pulling it up in a modal. So either approach is good. In this case, I have this long form sales page. or what Barrett's doing of linking directly to the product. Either one works. And I actually have 3 products on that page. So you can totally do that as well. Let's see. So that's like the high level view. Teddy says, OMG, great design work. Perfect. David's asking, can product pages have more than one image showing off the product? Not yet, but that's where we want to go. So soon. Yeah, video previews or linking out to that eventually would be super cool. We'll get there. One thing, this is like this episode's very meta, right? Because we're talking about how to launch products. We're launching a product that we're then using to launch more products. So some of the lessons that we want you to take away from this is, one, set a deadline, right? Barrett, what you're doing and what both of us are doing, right? We have these deadlines coming up really soon where we're like, okay, we're going to hustle to get this done, and we're not going to let it grow in scope and time and everything, because you could spend months. You could actually, as we know from personal experience and from all of our friends, you could spend years being like, I'm going to craft this product and everything else. But really, you get that first version going really quickly. The second thing is to launch and then iterate, like what you start with. So Barrett, what you're doing with the workshop, you could have gone to a studio and been like, before the studio, I'm going to script out everything. Then I'm going to sit down. Then I'm going to pay $10,000 to a video production company. And then I'm going to, and all this stuff. And it's like, no, that's not the way that's done. The minimum viable product, and viable being the most important word in there, is to teach a live workshop where, you can answer questions, you can figure out what to put into it. And then from there, you've got the interviews and the course version that you can sell. And that's really what we're designing this whole experience around, is helping you get to market really quickly and then iterate on it and keep improving on the product over time.
Yep, exactly. And I mean, I am doing it that way, but if I were in your shoes listening to this, that's also how I would do it, because I've done the opposite, where I spent a bunch of money and didn't make enough sales. And that's because my positioning was off or my audience was off. And instead, essentially in 2 weeks of work, I'm going to be able to validate an idea about basically helping people find the best job they've ever had by running this workshop. I know I've already got it all up here, and it's going to be a really nicely designed presentation, and I'm going to have a densely packed 90 minutes. So I know I can deliver, but it doesn't have any of the technical barriers that I would normally have. So I'm really excited about it. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm more actually excited to see what other people are going to launch. And one of our metrics is how much money do our customers earn on the platform, and just seeing that tick up as we add more and more people is going to be a ton of fun through this whole process.
Oh yeah. Like Ryan McRae is here in the chat, and he said that he's going to curate, 1 year of his newsletter down to a best of ebook that's going to sell for $19. And that's so good. Like, I'm going to go back and, if I was subscribed to Ryan's newsletter, I'd be like, yeah, there's some really good stuff in there. Which ones were those? Which were my favorites? And if he's like these, that's fantastic. And if you put a nice design on it, people are going to love that.
Yeah, exactly. If anyone has any quick questions, happy to take those by chat. Otherwise, here is my call to action for you today. I'd love for you to go back and listen. We'll have to grab the episode number, but go back and listen to the episode where we talked about launching a product in 72 hours. Everyone has something that they can teach. And most people have the knowledge already existing in their head, and they just haven't taken the time to either write it down, perform an audio version. An audio version would be a great option for a product like this. An album would be the same. If you've been like kind of recording an EP at home, maybe during quarantine, this would be a perfect time to actually just launch it directly to your audience instead of waiting for some gatekeeper to say yes to you. I'd love for you to write down, or maybe share in the chat, what product could you build if you decided to put your mind to it over the next week or so? And then consider doing that and launching it to your audience. I mean, you saw me, like I have 593 email subscribers. And if I sell out this workshop, I'm going to make $1,500 for 2 weeks of work. Now I've done 10 years of research and background to be able to do that. But that's the value of being able to sell your work online, is you can earn a serious either side income or turn it into a living relatively quickly if you have the expertise and the audience to make it happen.
Yep, that's so good. So what I would do is basically sit down and start to outline that. This is what happens. You're like, okay, I think I'll launch a product. And then it turns into an idea for another product and all of that. So I'm working on another product, and I'll tie back to the outline in a second, that I think I'm calling The Art of Newsletters. And it's about how to run a really effective email newsletter. It's going to be interviews with all the people that I've wanted to talk to anyway, about email newsletters and everything from there. But what I've done is I just have this running document that whenever I have an idea, I put in there. Oh yeah, gotta cover this. Ooh, I got to make sure to interview this person. Here's how I should launch it. Here's, I should have a guest post going out on the site. So even if you're not ready to commit to like, okay, in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to launch a product, or the next month, start that document now and say, okay, what is it that I'm an expert in? What would people pay to learn from me? And then let me keep gradually dropping things in there over time.
I love it. Okay. Creator of the day. Oh man, I messed that up so bad. I know the one. Okay. Okay, I'm going to redo that. Okay. Da 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 da. I messed that up, but whatever. It's the King from Hamilton. That's all I've been singing all weekend.
All the time.
Like, yes.
I feel sorry for Nicole.
Back. Soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. Anyways, man. Creator of the day.
Okay, my creator, let me just screen share, is Matt Kearney. He is a musician. I first saw him live maybe 4 years ago when he was touring with Need to Breathe. They came to Boise, did this amazing outdoor concert. So much fun. Anyway, he's originally from Eugene, Oregon. So halfway between Barrett and I, basically. Mm-hmm. But great musician. He's going to do a ConvertKit creator session this Friday, and we're super excited. So anyway, check out his music and tune in for the creator session.
Love it. Let's see. My creator of the day is a guy named, hold on, let me get my screen sharing. Man, it's been a rough day for screen sharing for Barrett. Tim Urban. He writes on a site called Wait But Why. And the title of the site gives a little bit of it away in terms of the kinds of stuff he writes about. But his two most impactful series have been this one that I'm on right now, The Story of Us, and then another one he did on Elon Musk. They are like book quality writing on a freely available website. The Elon Musk series came out before the Ashley Vance Elon Musk biography. And Elon actually reached out to Tim and said, I love your site. Would you actually interview me and write about me? And I was like, whoa, what in the world? This is a creator who started a blog, having one of the most famous business people in the world reach out to him, and wrote a really good series that I think analyzed Elon's success quite well in a way that we can relate to. And then this one is actually about political divisiveness and polarization. He spent 3 years. So I hosted a dinner party in New York with a couple of buddies 2.5 years ago. And at that dinner party, Tim happened to come because he was friends with one of the other guys that was co-hosting. And he said he was working on this then. And he just recently finished it. It's 10 parts looking at who we are psychologically as a species, who we are as a country in the United States, like how it was founded, the ideas behind it, how it was fueled by the Enlightenment, and then how the combination of those things has led to an increasingly polarized political landscape in a really apolitical kind of way, meaning like he's not espousing any one view. He's just trying to help explain it. And I found it to be really soothing in the environment that we're in. So anyways, Tim is a great creator in general. I love those two series. I think you might enjoy it too. That's my creator and resource of the day.
Love it. Yeah, Tim's stuff is so good. Yeah, excited to have him more. We actually had him booked for Craft and Commerce 2020, and I believe he's still booked for 2021, assuming that the world exists then.
Yep.
Okay, my resource of the day is a book. Before I screen share, I will hold it up. It is American Kingpin. Actually, I don't need to screen share. This is by Nick Bilton. It's the story of the Silk Road. And if you know that website, not the Silk Road as in the trade route, but as in the story of drugs, Bitcoin, murder attempts, everything else. It's really kind of crazy because, if you watch the story unfold in real time, this is all the details behind it. So super fun read if you're looking for something relaxing as you're, take your mind off all the craziness and just embed yourself in someone else's crazy world. Check out the book American Kingpin.
Love it. All right. That's it for today. Friday is Q&A Friday. As always, get your questions ready, tweet them to us or show up live and ask